All right, welcome to week 3, my friends. Hopefully you had an amazing weekend, right? And you're ready to ho-oh now, because it's about to get real, okay? So first, how are your weekly planning sessions coming, right? How about your daily planning? Okay? And if you haven't been doing those things, you get a pass today, okay? To postpone this lesson and go plan your day, your week instead, okay? Creating this habit is gonna pay huge dividends for you. Huge dividends in the form of productivity, efficiency, etc. So don't cheat yourself on all that goodness, okay? Reflection is key as well. Writing down a few of the things that you learned from the prior week and reflecting on, what you did to grow your business, and then stretching your arms out really wide and just giving yourself a congratulatory embrace. It just feels good, okay? Don't judge me, just give yourself a hug, okay? All right, today we're gonna dive into our money teams, okay? Our money team consists of mortgage brokers and then private money investors, okay? We love both of them. So today we're gonna focus on mortgage brokers, and then we'll get into private money investors throughout the rest of the week. So mortgage brokers, right? These are the individuals who are gonna give us the bulk of the money for our deals. Remember that we leverage all of our deals, and we do that so we can scale quicker, right? So typically 70 to 80% of the capital actually comes from lenders in the form of debt, and the remaining 20 to 30% comes from our private money investors. So the two most common loan types, okay, are bridge loans and agency loans. Okay, bridge loans and agency loans. Let's talk about bridge loans first. So bridge loans are typically used when we're going to be, they're very common with repositioning type deals. So let's say you have a reposition, you can build some good value within that deal in a shorter term. Bridge loan is perfect. Okay, the term is typically shorter, 12 to 36 months, which provides a lot of flexibility when we go to reposition, stabilize, and then refinance or resell. Okay, the rate's a little bit higher. Right? These are the individuals who are going to give us the bulk of the money for our deals. Remember that we leverage all of our deals, and we do that so we can scale quicker, right? So typically 70 to 80% of the capital actually comes from lenders in the form of debt, and the remaining 20 to 30% comes from our private money investors. So the two most common loan types, okay, are bridge loans and agency loans. Okay, bridge loans and agency loans. Let's talk about bridge loans first. So bridge loans are typically used when we're going to be, they're very common with repositioning type deals. So let's say you have a reposition, you can build some good value within that deal in a shorter term. Bridge loan is perfect. Okay, the term is typically shorter, 12 to 36 months, which provides a lot of flexibility when we go to reposition, stabilize, and then refinance or resell. Okay, the rate's a little bit higher. 4 to 11% is what I have here. Right now as I'm recording this, they're in the 7 to 8% range. They're also interest-only loans, typically 80% loan to value. Another upside is that you can include your capital improvement costs into the loan, which lowers our overall raise, okay, which certainly helps with investor returns. A downside, though, is that they're typically full recourse, which means you are going to have to personally guarantee the loan, okay, which can make it a little bit harder depending on where you're at. Now, agency loans. Okay, agency loans are the most common. Okay? The most common loans, for sure, the far majority of the time is what we use. We'll dive into this a little bit further, but here's a quick snapshot, okay? The terms are typically 5, 7, or 10 years, so 5 to 10 year terms. And the interest rates, interest rates right now are super low, like in the 3% range. In fact, we're actually closing on a property right now at 3.6% with a 10-year term and 3 years interest only, okay? So diving into agency loans just a little bit more. Agency loans are considered conventional mortgages. Okay? They're typically funded by Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. Payments are taken out over 30 years, so it's typically a 30-year end. But your term is rarely longer than 10 years. Like I said, terms are usually 5 to 10 years. We want to make sure that we align our debt piece with our exit strategy, by the way. That way we eliminate prepayment penalties down the road. All in all, agency loans are one of the most utilized funding resources for apartment owners. Okay, we use them a ton. Here are some pros for us, okay? Some of the pros of an agency loan. Attractive rates. You have a variety of options there, which is great to help us with different loan structures, deal types. Typically good loan to values, 80% loan to value. It's really good. We don't usually want to go higher than that. More of a streamlined process, and also assumable, and also non-recourse. Okay, they're non-recourse. And they're assumable loans. Now, strategy, okay, going into lines with assumable loans. The strategy on a typical value add is to take out a conventional mortgage with a term of 7 to 10 years. Right? It's very, very common. But this depends on what the market is doing when we buy, right? So for example, right now, like I mentioned, interest rates are really low. And as I mentioned, our current deal is an agency loan through Freddie Mac. It has a 10-year term, 3.6%, and we got 3 years interest only. And what that does, that makes our payments lower over those first 3 years, which helps us hit investor returns while we work to stabilize the property. Now, we're locked in at a rate of 3.6%. So let's say that we decide to sell at year 5, okay, when interest rates are back up to 4.5%. Well, because they're assumable, now the new buyer can assume our loan at a lower rate than they can get from sourcing a new loan, right? Which makes our property more attractive and allows the end buyer to justify a higher purchase price, right? Which is a great exit strategy, okay? So we love that kind of stuff. Now, getting into market size, okay? One thing that you need to be aware of when you're choosing a market is the size of the market, because the market size, will impact your interest rate, your max LTV, minimum debt coverage ratio. The bigger the market, the better the rate in the terms. So a quick overview of markets, okay? First, we have tertiary markets. Now, tertiary markets are very small, right? Typically a population of less than 30,000 renters. Your max LTV is going to be 75%, and then your max debt service coverage ratio 1.4. Next, we have secondary markets. Now, secondary markets usually have a renter population of 30 to 60,000, and then you're going to have a max LTV of 75%, debt coverage of 1.3. Then we have standard size markets. Now, standard size 60,000 plus renters, max LTV 80%, and then 1.25 debt service coverage ratio. And then lastly is our major markets. Now, our major markets like Dallas, LA, New York, those max LTVs, same 80%, and your debt service coverage ratio goes down to about 1.2, okay? Now, quickly with your lending broker, okay? Unless you have been, in this business doing many deals for years, you're not going to know what, what lender best, is best for, your deal type, right? Every deal we do is a little bit different. So what you'll learn is some lenders are strong doing certain deals, others are not. Okay? Our lending broker will be critical in sourcing the right option for us, okay? Making sure that we don't make a bad lending decision and put a debt piece in place that we have for a long time that's not good. Also remember that they're going to get paid when the deal closes. Okay, so they want the deal to close just as much as we do, which means they're going to steer us in the direction or to the lender that will actually close, okay? They're going to take our deal to the capital markets, they're going to provide us with some term sheets, negotiate the terms, then they charge us 1% at closing. Another bonus, okay, that you might not know is it gives us the ability to have an in-house analyst. So once we start doing this business and start closing deals, we become known as a closer, right? And just like Cheers, everyone all of a sudden knows your name, okay? And a lot of deals begin to be sent our way, which is great, but listen, it takes a lot of time to analyze those deals. I noticed, all big companies have analyzers on their team. Their sole job is to weed out bad deals and spot the good ones, right? Imagine being able to send all those deals that come across your desk to somebody who can spot the potential and only spend time on the ones that have potential, right? That's a game changer. The problem is it costs a lot of money to hire that person, right? Here's your workaround though, okay? Your workaround, and I'll tell you this, I didn't realize this until year 2. You're learning this in week 3, you're welcome, okay? But your lending broker can help you analyze deals, and they essentially become your in-house analyst, which means when those deals come across your desk, we send those deals to our in-house analyst and only deal with the ones that have potential. Man, that saves so much time, right? And it frees up time to allow us to build relationships, raise money, get more deals, right? What we're good at. Your lending broker will turn into a key player in your team. You're going to see that. So seek out a good one and then use them to their full potential. You'll be rewarded if you do something like that, okay? So remember, use them to source your loan, right? To double check your numbers, and then of course to analyze your deals, right? And then lastly as well, you can use them for information regarding capital markets, right? What's happening in the capital markets, pick their mind all the time on that. All right, now your take action assignment. Okay, you're gonna go interview a few commercial lenders. You can also ask for a referral, by the way, on the Multifamily Mindsetter group page, which I would absolutely suggest doing. And then there's also checklists and stuff within the curriculum to help you do that, okay?